When King David first sang the 23rd Psalm, he connected his experience as a shepherd with all of his encounters with God and God's care for him. He recognized his own sheepness in all of the countless hours that he spent observing sheep in his youth. And this broken, inconsistent follower who repeatedly strayed away from God was still able to truthfully declare that God guides me in right paths for his name's sake. 3,000 years later, shepherds still understand why sheep are a living parable for our relationship with God. But for those of us that don't have a lot of daily contact with sheep, who else can we look to get an idea of how God sees us?
I am sure your goodness will follow me every single day of my life.
Can you see your dogness as clearly as King David saw himself as a sheep? Do you want your dog to feel safe with you and know that you will never abandon him even if he gets lost? Do you want him to confidently walk without fear even in darkness because he knows that you will always protect him? When your dog is at a crossroads and he doesn't know which way to go, isn't it the sweetest feeling in the world if he looks to you for direction? When God became flesh and dwelt among us, he tried over and over again to get us to understand who he is and who we are. The kingdom of God is like this, and the kingdom of God is like that: a mustard seed, a pearl, a treasure, a net, a banquet. And then there's the parable of the lost sheep. Everyone listening at the time would have understood the feeling of losing a sheep, even if it was 1 out of 100. But can you imagine the feeling of losing a sheep? What about the feeling of losing your dog? You probably don't have 100 dogs, but let's say you have 3, and you come home one day and 2 of them are there, but 1 of them is nowhere to be found. Do you think to yourself, oh, well, at least I have these 2. That's probably all I need, and this will probably save me some money on food and vet bills, and there'll be a lot less hair all over the floor, so, this is okay. No, you'd probably have a sick feeling in the pit of your stomach. You would leave the 2 behind and run outside and go looking for the missing dog. And let's say that you find him. Would you scream at him and smack him across the face, tase him with a shock collar? Or would you drop to your knees, throw your arms around him, maybe nuzzle your face in his fur and put a leash on him and take him home, and then call everyone to tell them the story because you're so excited? Maybe this is what Jesus meant when he said that he no longer calls us slaves, but calls us friends. He no longer calls us sheep, but calls us dogs, because sheep don't know their shepherd's business, but we go out of our way to include our dogs in our business and treat them as if they were one of us, making sure that they live indoors, that they eat regularly scheduled meals out of a bowl, they sleep in comfy beds, they wear hats, they play at recess, and all of the other experiences that we give them in order to impart our image and likeness on them. So the next time you're walking your dog, or feeding your dog, or washing your dog, or trying to get your dog to obey you, take a few seconds and say thanks to the one who is taking care of you the same way.
And I will live